Good morning, everybody. We are out at Dosewallips State Park, and we're out here in Hood Canal, and we're gonna go dig some clams and maybe shuck some oysters. Today is the first day of summer, and we're gonna make the most of it. The sun is just starting to come out, and the day is starting to look pretty good. So let's go dig some clams and have some fun. So Dosewallips State Park is about an hour or two outside of Seattle, depending on which route you take. You can take the Bremerton ferry out of Seattle and then drive through, or you can stay on the road and take I-5 south and then take the 101 state route exit towards the Hood Canal area. Once you take the 101 state route exit, it'll take you about an hour to get to the state park. So the Hood Canal area has got there's a lot of things to do here besides digging clams and shucking oysters. You can come out here on a boat and do some shrimping. There's the famous Hama Hama Oyster Farm where you can go. They have a restaurant where you can go and eat at an outdoor sitting area. You can also shuck their oysters. Hama Hama oysters are some of the best oysters in the world. Definitely one of my top 3 favorite oysters in the Northwest. So right now we're coming up on a bunch of digging sites that people have very dug up. We just have to find ourselves a good hole and start digging and see if it has anything. Alright, so we found a place to start digging. And so far, things are looking good. We got some good sized clams in our buckets.
Oyster.
There are oysters everywhere. All that are oysters. That's just a bed of oysters. So if you're coming out here for the first time and you get out on the beach and you get to a spot and you look around and you're probably wondering, okay, how do these people know where to start digging? Just start digging, because you're going to see a lot of empty shells laying on the surface. But once you start digging, and the tools you need would be a rake. You can use a small hand rake or you can use a longer rake, but a rake is ideal just so the prongs can dig through the mud, call up the mussels or call up the clams that are underneath the sand. So here are the tools that you'll need. You're obviously going to need a bucket. Oh, actually, first and foremost, you need your shellfish license. Make sure you have your license. I usually just buy an annual combo license, which includes freshwater and saltwater fish and shellfish. So back to the tools, you're going to need a bucket. You're going to need a rake. But that's it. That's really all the tools you need. It's just a rake, a bucket. You could use a shovel. There's a lot of people out here using shovels, but in my opinion, a shovel uses too much energy because you're moving more dirt than you want to. All you really need to do is just claw the clams out of the sand, and that's why a rake is ideal. So with these oysters, you're gonna need a shucking tool, and a proper shucking tool looks like this. It's just a pointed edge. It's not sharp on the sides. It's actually thick on the sides so that you don't break it when you're trying to pry or shuck the oysters. So something like this is ideal. Another tool, very similar. That point, you need a good point to wedge to wedge the knife into the back of the oyster, so you can pop it from its hinge. So out here, these clams have to be, there's a minimum size to what you can harvest for clams and oysters. I believe the oysters, the length of the oysters have to be a minimum of 2.5 inches. And for the clams, I believe they're 1.5 inches minimum. Best way to measure it is just to get yourself a measuring tool. So you see, baby, this is 4.5 inches. Oysters have to be 2.5 inches. So it has to be just over half of that. Yeah, so that's long enough. Here is a measuring tool. It has a gauge for the mussels, or it has a gauge for the clams, and around that, and on the ring of that gauge has a number that says 1.5 inch. So the width of the clams have to be at least 1.5 inch. All right, so yeah, with a hand rake, all you have to do is just rake the dirt, and see, there you go. Can you show that again?
That's a good size.
And that's it. Just that raking motion. All right, I'm gonna shuck some oysters. Okay, so right now I'm just shucking oysters. You need your shucking tool. Stick the tool in the rear of the oyster where the hinge is. You kind of wiggle your way in there, and then just pop it off like so, and then slide the top of the shucker on the bottom of the top shell, so you can cut the mussel that's holding the shell together, which is the scallop. And that's what you're cutting right there. The reason why you shuck your oysters on the beach is so the baby oysters that's on the shell, outside shell, can still live and grow. If you take the shells off the beach, you're potentially killing thousands of eggs. You're allowed 18. Yeah, but because the shells are grown together.
This is a big oyster. You have to have it. You have to have it.
It's very important to have a good pair of gloves when you're shucking oysters out in the field. I have these cut-resistant gloves. They come. They're really handy. It makes shucking a whole lot easier and safer. Another thing is when you're out here shucking oysters, make sure you keep an eye on the tide. You do not want to get caught out here when the tide's coming in and you have to rush to get out of here. Alright, so we got done shucking oysters and harvesting our clams. We got our limits. The clams are 40 clams per person, and oysters were 18 per person. We were able to shuck about 18 oysters before the tide came in over our feet, so we got out there pretty quick. On the way out, the park rangers were checking to make sure everybody was doing the right thing. So here we are pulling up on Hama Hama Oyster Farm. This place is really popular and well known in the Hood Canal area. Some of the best oysters you can eat are here. Alright guys, we made a stop at Hama Hama Oyster Farm. It's also a restaurant, and they have an outdoor oyster bar. So we're gonna go get some food and have lunch here. You wanna go with Mom or you wanna stick with me? Oh, good job.
Hi. Oh yeah.
Go ahead, honey. You order.
Grilled oysters, yes. Crab cake sliders. What kind of chips do the crab cake sliders? Sea salt. And then the oyster roll. Okay, well, bread.
All right, so we got our food.
Ooh, look at that.
We got a pizza box full of oysters. A dozen oysters. Then we have a brats. Oyster. This is the oyster roll. And then crab cake sliders. Oh. All right, let's try this oyster. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's sweet. The oysters are sweet. Not bad. And it comes with that rolled up tin foil in the middle it's bread. Okay.
What happened to the pasta?
What do you guys think? Good food, blue skies, sun. Sounds like a good way to start off the summer.
Thurston's here.
Some of that juice. The juice is pretty good. Take a bite of the oyster roll. This has what? This has green onions. What kind of vegetable is that? I don't know what kind of vegetable it is, but let's give it a try. Okay. Oh, those greens are refreshing. I think those oysters are smoked. They're not raw. They're like baby oysters. It's like smoked. Smoked and creamy.
Those are pea shoots.
What's pea shoots? Oh,
Veggies.
pea shoots, huh?
Mignonette sauce.
Okay. Are that smoked oysters? Smoked, yeah, like cold smoked oysters. Yeah. Next, we're gonna have the crab cake sliders. Look at that. Oh, that's good. That crab cake's almost like almost got like a barbecue flavor to it. It's really good. So good. People come here for more than just the oysters. They have a pretty good menu too. All right, I'm gonna have to finish this meal. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of us digging for clams and shucking oysters over in Hood Canal at Dosewallips. And if you're ever in the area, make sure you stop by Hama Hama Oyster Farm, because they have pretty good oysters, grilled or shucked or on a half shell. You can also shuck it yourself for a discount on their oysters. And this area is just a beautiful area, so make sure you come out here. And catch you guys in the next video.